Greetings, friends. How are you doing? Maybe you've heard that question a lot, and we give quick answers to it. And I think in these times, when we hear that question, we kind of give a deeper answer. We think about it a little bit more. But do you ever sit with yourself and ask, how are you doing? Or sit with God even and ask. This period has affected us in many different ways. Some people are more busy, some people are less busy and find more time on their hands, but it has adjusted everybody's schedule in some way, or has adjusted their life. And it's okay to sit back and admit that that's stressful. Change is stressful. And it's good just to remind ourselves to be gracious with one another, which I feel like we have been, but also to be gracious with ourselves. And I think we need to just remember to sit back. We're all experiencing for the first time, even though we're into this a week or so. So be gracious with yourself. And before we get too, either frustrated with this time of change or solitude, and try to fill every moment, I'd like to remember that silence and solitude have long been spiritual disciplines, that Christians sought to be closer to God and to know God more and to be more aware of what God has given us. And one of those practices that they did during those times of silence and solitude was a time of examen. And I'd like to talk about one of those types of examen now. Maybe we can incorporate it into our lives. And you can follow with me this time or just note it down for future times of ways to kind of just check in and ask that question. How am I doing? God, how are we doing? So in the examen, we kind of look at the day and look for moments of God in the day. This one's in 5 steps, as many of them are. And we're going to use the acronym LIGHT, Thanksgiving, and then feelings times 3. And I know feelings isn't something we're super comfortable with, and we might even be a little bit wary of them. We can't trust our feelings. But I'd like to remember the greatest commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And then some of them say with all your strength. And then love your neighbor as yourself. And Danita's going to be preaching about that tomorrow morning. We're going to post that video again. And we invite you to watch at 8:30. Follow the link, the Vimeo link, and that should open it right up. And then watch that together. And on our Facebook, our BB Cobb Facebook page, leave comments and prayer requests and comment on each other. So this examen is kind of a way to prepare ourselves and to remember how is God dealing with us each day. So the first part of this examen is light. And the purpose of light is to just ask for God to shed light on our lives. We're not just kind of wondering and reminiscing. We're asking for God to show us how God was interacting with us. So just take a moment and say, God, please be with me. Open my eyes, open my heart to what you might be trying to tell me. The next step is to actually kind of walk through the day. You're going to be asking for moments of thankfulness as the second letter there. So as you think about waking up, who did you talk to? Who are you around? Through the morning to lunch, what are some moments that happen? What are moments of beauty that you experienced through the afternoon and evening? And just really focus on what are things that you can be thankful for. And then the third one is feelings. Probably move through now you've kind of reviewed your day, think about how are you feeling in each of those moments. That may have already started to pop up. But don't be afraid. Sometimes we did thankfulness kind of to start us off first, that God did give us a gift of yesterday. But then in feelings, like it's okay, other things happen. So there's a whole range of feelings. I'm going to read some just to remember what feelings could be. They could be delight or boredom, fear, anticipation, resentment, anger, peace, contentment, impatience, rage, doubt, confidence, admiration, disgust, shyness. Really think about it. As you walk through those moments, how were you feeling when you met that person? How are you feeling when you either accomplished this or were kept from accomplishing it because of kids or other things that happen? So in the next feeling, focus which one really stood out to you. If you think through the day, there's usually one or two that's like, wow, that was a strong feeling, or that takes up a lot of my mental space. I feel kind of stuck in that. Was I feeling angry with my kids, or was I feeling resentful or frustrated or joyful? Was I just having a blast and I loved it? But think through that. And now, because that's sticking in your mind, instead of seeing it as a distraction, see it as what is God trying to tell you through that feeling? So sit with that for a moment, maybe pause, and just ask God, God, I was feeling joyful, I was feeling angry, I was feeling a little afraid in this moment. What could you be telling me? What do I need to be aware of? What else do I need to see? Let God talk to you. You may want to write it down. You may want to just note it somewhere. And then the final one is thinking through tomorrow. Maybe you have a to-do list. Maybe you have things a list in your mind. Once again, like, how do I feel about that to-do list? How do I feel about meeting that person? How do I feel about not seeing people? And once again, ask God, okay, what are you telling me? What do I need to hand over to you? What exciting thing do you have in store for me that I can look forward to? So even as we ask God for light for our day, we ask God, we tell God thanks for moments, and then we pay attention to our feelings. God, you gave us these feelings. What are you trying to tell us for now and then in the future? That's very focused on God. So how are you doing? May you find moments of Christ, peace, love, and joy in these crazy times, and may you be those moments for others. Peace. Pastor K.